3-0. It's over.
Yes, 3-0 it would finish. Dembele continuing with that stunning run of form that we've been seeing from him in 2025. Julien is joining us now alongside Frank Leboeuf. Oh, it looks as though Jules has got a good connection.
Oh,
He's at the game tonight.
Yay.
In fact, he might be in some little office there still. Dembele, once again taking centre stage, Jules.
Yeah, okay, incredible. He scored again for the 8th game in a row, which is only the 4th player in PSG history after Carlos Bianchi, Kylian Mbappe and Neymar to achieve something like that. 8 consecutive matches with at least a goal, and it's more than a goal. Even as you can see on the graphics, it's now 18 in his last 11 in all competition. He scored 15 in 2025, more than any other player in the big 5 leagues. All the efficiency, all the goals, all the chances that he missed in the first half of the season seems to be scoring now, and he could even have scored more today. There's 2 big chances that he missed in that second half, but he's finally, I guess, at 27, transformed into a far more clinical player than he ever was.
What's it come down to, Jules? Why are we seeing this from Dembele now?
It's a good question. So the big joke, and we talked about it on the show before, is that he has a bet with his friends that they would buy him 2 very expensive watches, one Patek Philippe, one Rolex. Not that he doesn't have expensive watches, he has plenty already, but I guess maybe that's the incentive and the motivation. I think more seriously, he's done a lot of work with Luis Enrique. Okay, the finishing at training, you stay behind after training, you arrive earlier and you practice your finishing. Great, of course, Ali did that, a lot of forwards do that, it's normal. I think they've done a lot of visualization and video analysis as well on the chances that he used to miss, where he would take his shot, how he would take the shot, to try to just improve that, even if it's a little margin of how he can shoot earlier or wait a little bit longer or get a bit more composure in that box, around the box. Don't forget, he's a winger, really at heart, but he's working much more as a number 9 now, which he kind of is when he plays more centrally. And I think all that work with Luis Enrique and his staff is paying off right now, and it's good to see him like this, because I think for a long time he was heavily criticized for missing those chances, and rightly so, but at least he created the chances, or he got the chances for himself. Now he's much more efficient in front of goal.
Yeah, heavily criticised by many, actually, Ali, wasn't it? Who could it have been that he was heavily criticised by?
Well, I must say, I'll raise my hand and say that I've been asking for productivity and consistency from Ousmane Dembele. However, I have not been nearly as passionate as Frank Leboeuf. I'm passing that on to Frank.
Thank you very much. And I always recognized in Dembele's talent, for sure. The guy is a jury, and there's no doubt that he has everything, all the tools. He doesn't even know which foot is better than the other one. And again, as Ali said, it's about consistency. And if he decided to become very professional, to visualize everything, all his goal, and how to handle it, and if he goes 1 step, 2 steps forward, I'm the first to be happy to say that I was wrong, and at the end of the day, Dembele is one of the best players in the world, and I want to see that. Allow me to wait a little bit longer and see more consistency to say so, and to see again. And I would think I would need another year to think like that. So what he has shown lately is absolutely fantastic, because he knows he's accurate. But don't forget, beginning of the second half, we saw a little bit of the Dembele that we normally see. Making bad mistakes, bad passes for like 10-15 minutes. Then he came back to its best. Good. Don't forget that people named Vitinha best player of that game. Because if we talk about Dembele, you have to see Vitinha's game. That guy made an exquisite performance today on top of his penalty. But what he did, everything he did on the field, and he's been doing that for the whole season, has been absolutely fantastic.
See, he started being positive towards Dembele, and then came back around.
And beacon of negativity.
And a lot of backhanded compliments, and let's see, let's wait. This is what I would say about Dembele, to the point that Jules was making. It is noticeable now, as compared to before, that he's putting more shots on target. And when you used to watch the misses from Ousmane Dembele, usually he's trying to do sort of like the most difficult finish of all time and trying to bend it perfectly to the far post, or he's trying to get a little too cute. What you're seeing more of from Dembele is that he's putting more shots on target, which is going to force a save. It's going to force a deflection. It's going to force a mistake. He's giving himself more opportunities to score a goal just by keeping the ball on target. He's doing that with consistency now, but to the point that Frank is making, let's see if that actually holds up.
If PSG get through this, Jules, Liverpool or Barcelona, are they a serious threat to those teams?
I think they are a serious threat for anybody, and we saw that especially in the last two and a half months where they've really clicked. This is a wonderful team. It's a very young team, and that's why I don't think they are ready right now to beat a Liverpool team over 2 legs with the second leg away from home, because that will be the case. We know already. We don't know which one of Barcelona or Liverpool will be their opponent, but we know for sure that the second leg will be away from Paris and the first leg will be at the Parc des Princes. So right now, as good as they've been and as great as Dembele is, as great as Vitinha is, because Frank is right, Vitinha today is more than world class. But it was only Brest today, and it was only City and Stuttgart and Salzburg in the last 3 other Champions League games that they won, and they won well by playing great. I still think that they are a work in progress, and they are progressing really well. They are becoming this team. They are entertaining. They move the ball so well. The intensity is great. They run more than any PSG team has ever run before. And Luis Enrique is getting them where he wants them to be. Great. Are they good enough to beat Barcelona over 2 legs? I still don't think so. Liverpool, even less. So it will be a massive test and a massive step up for them. But this is not a team that is supposed to win the Champions League this season. It's for next year or the year after, because, like I said, they're still so young. So we'll have to see. But I think they would really relish the challenge, and they will go for it. And I think if you're Liverpool and Barcelona, you're not going to enjoy facing them for 2 games. Definitely not. But you should still be strong enough or too good to beat that team.
You check that box, by the way. De Vitinha, shout out by Jules. I have never been on a show when we're talking about PSG and Jules doesn't give some love to Vitinha. So I'm glad we have that on the bingo card.
Yeah,
check that one.
Frank definitely gave some love to him as well.
Yeah.
Frank, can you give some love to PSG if it is to be against a Liverpool or a Barcelona? Could you see them getting past that?
Definitely, for me, it's going to be very, very difficult. But I 100% agree with Jules, where I really think that's going to be very hard also for either Barcelona or Liverpool to go through. There is quality, and for the first time, and because we had so big stars inside the Paris Saint-Germain squad before, you really have a team. They fight together, the front with Barcola, Doué, and Dembele. It's very fast, it's accurate, they work together. In the middle of the park, today we didn't have Zaire Emery, but with Vitinha and Neves, the 3 of them, they're very young, they're not very, very tall, but they run like hell and so clever technically, tactically, that they can do and deal with anybody in the world for me. And at the back, you know, Pacho is doing great. Hakimi is Hakimi, and he's always doing great. He's a very accurate. And on the side, Mendes with alongside Marquinhos, the skipper. It's always great. The only person that I'm scared of is Donnarumma when he has the ball in his feet. But otherwise, he can make good saves. So it's why I say that it's possible to see a miracle from Paris Saint-Germain. But if we go to the logic, I would say that no, they won't go through against, I would say, especially Liverpool.
We are loving taking risks here on ESPN FC, so we're going to test Jules' connection for one more question.
Oh boy, here we go.
Jules, how was the atmosphere today?
It was great, to be fair. As everybody knows, Brest don't play in Brest. They play in Guingamp because their stadium is not UEFA tested or something. I don't know how you say. So they had to move 70 miles away, so 110 kilometers away from Brest in Guingamp, which is also a small stadium. But this one is okay for all the rules by UEFA to host a Champions League game of this caliber. So despite the early kickoff as well, so Tuesday at 6:45 kickoff in France when people are working, it's not easy. The atmosphere was amazing. And I know it's disappointing in the end because their team lost 3-0 and they could not compete. PSG were far too strong, but the atmosphere was great. This is a fairy tale story. We said that often on the show, a miracle for a team like Brest, one of the smallest budget in French football, starting in Ligue 1, to have reached, first to go into the Champions League, then to reach this playoff, the last 16 or the last 32 rounds like they did, to have played in the league phase like they did, the wins that they got, the draws that they got, to be able to be here in itself is an incredible achievement. Tonight was, without doubt, the greatest game in their history. Okay, they lost it like they lost the Real Madrid one in game week 8 of the league phase, but it didn't matter. People were so happy after the game still. Yes, they lost. Yeah, they're not going to qualify now next week at the Parc des Princes, but they were so proud of their team for going that final in the Champions League and for building what this club has been building for the last 2.5 years.
Yeah, good stuff. An unforgettable journey for Brest.
I almost shed a tear there.